Good morning, lovely people. Come down this morning to a little place in Dorset called Arn, something like that. It's about 4 or 5 miles from Wareham. And a good friend told me about this, said it's going to be an awesome sunrise. And he's not lying, look at this. Alright, so the camera didn't do it justice, and we are running a bit late, so just wandering down through this sort of heathland. So I don't know if you can see over there. So I don't really know what shots we've come down for. There's some water, it's a bit of a nature reserve here, so hopefully once we've got a sunrise shot or two, we might be able to get some wildlife as well. You never know, but I'm going to carry on down the trail, see where we get to, and catch up with you in a minute. Trek up through here, guys, and we hadn't really well, we just come down to see what we could get. What I wanted to talk to you about, really more so than anything today, was basically what you need for landscape photography, and the answer is quite simple, and that's a device that will capture an image. And it doesn't really matter what that image is, but yeah, we'll go a bit more in depth than that, obviously. Just need to try and get down and get set up. Once we do that, we'll have a little chat. So I had to be a little bit quick here because the sun's coming up again pretty quick. Look at this. Yeah. Hopefully that's going to be a beautiful shot. So just really quickly, f22. 1/4 of a second, ISO 50. Let's see what we get here. So what I was saying earlier is basically what you need for landscape photography. Well, it's quite simple. You just need a camera, and any type of camera will do. So most of us have got these things, smartphones, built-in camera. Just get out and take the shot. I mean, there's lots of other things you can use. There's things that will enhance your landscape photography. So some of those things, tripod, somewhere sturdy. Now you don't have to go out and buy a massive expensive tripod. You can get a cheap one. You can even use anything that's around. So if there's a bench, a post, anything like that, just rest your camera on it just to get that crisp shot so it's not shaking about. Power, so make sure you have got enough power. So we got up quite early this morning, got out. The last thing you want is a battery to die, or so make sure you've got enough power, rechargeable, etc. Another thing to consider is clothing. So it's really not that cold this morning, but usually I've got thermal hats, gloves, etc. Again, nothing worse. You go out for a nice shoot somewhere nice and early in the morning, you're freezing cold, you're trying to concentrate on getting a nice image, but what you're doing is you're worrying about your fingers being cold, your ears being cold. So, you know, think about the clothing and footwear. Footwear is important. As I realised this morning, it's quite boggy down here, and I didn't bring any walking boots. I bought just my trainers. So just think about the clothing, footwear before you go. Another thing to remember is memory cards. Now, most will take an SD card or a micro SD card or some form of capture. Try and take a spare. If you can't, that's fine, but there's nothing worse than being out, getting all these decent shots, and then your card corrupting. At least if you've got another card, you can continue your shoot, get something different, etc. So it's always a good idea to take an extra card if you can. Another thing to enhance your landscape photography is filters. I did a little I did a little video on some cheap filters the other day, but filters can really change the shot you get massively. You know, you can smooth out water, you can graduate on the you can put graduated filters so you can expose differently. There's just lots and lots of things to do with filters. And another thing to think about is food and water. So again, if you're going to be out and you're going to go trekking about trying to find some unique shots and that, just make sure you're prepared. Make sure you've got some food, you've got some water. Safety. Now safety's a thing to obviously bear in mind. When you go out on a shoot, always make sure somebody knows where you are roughly. So if you get lost, anything happens, you've got your phone on you, people know where you are. So right, it's going to be a short one today, but hopefully just a few things to think about when you're getting into landscape photography. Like I said, camera that's all you need. Just get out there with a camera, take some shots, have some fun. That's all you need to get some really, really nice moments in time. Other things like I went through, filters, tripods, they're all enhancers, but they're not absolutely necessary. You can still get a great shot without all these things, so just bear that in mind. So I'm going to go off and try and do some, maybe a little bit of wildlife photography this morning. Not really tried that before, so I'm looking forward to it. If it goes well, perhaps we'll do a video on that at some point. But for now, thank you very much for coming back, watching. As usual, like, subscribe, comment, interact, Facebook, Instagram, all the usual things down below. You know, it all helps. So you have a fantastic week, and I'll catch up with you next time. See ya.